I hope everyone is having a wonderful and marvelous day. So, today I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how important and wonderful it is to keep a lupus journal as well as a lupus diary. Now, you definitely don't have to have lupus, in order to keep a journal or a diary. But since lupus is such a complex disease and it's so unpredictable, I have found that keeping a diary and a journal have been so critical to my success during my journey with lupus. And this can work if you have any other disease. It can be another autoimmune disease or any other illness or disease that you're battling with. You can definitely take away these tips and tricks to help you. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, I kept a diary, and this says, "For I know the plans I have for you." And this is a Bible verse from Jeremiah 29:11. And when I saw this diary in the bookstore, it just like stood out to me because my grandmother actually gave me a wall plaque with that same exact Bible verse on it. So me and my mom were shopping one day in the bookstore and I saw this diary and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to have it because Nana gave me a plaque with the same exact verse. So it was very special to me and very dear to my heart. And the fact that my mom was there, my mom actually, bought it for me. And this is when I was first diagnosed with lupus. That was also very special and significant for me as well. And what I have found, guys, is that journaling has been so wonderful for me. Like, you have no idea. This is, actually my diary. So I'm able to write down all of my thoughts, all of my feelings, and, just be completely true and honest in this diary. And one thing with lupus is that it's really bad for you to be stressed out when you have lupus because stress can trigger your flares. So I found that keeping a diary and just being able to write down all of my feelings and, voice my concerns or what have you, and even the good things, everything in here isn't all bad. I even have, good things about my life and my day-to-day activities. So just being able to write that down has been so therapeutic and so helpful for me. And it's really helped me to, not build up that stress inside of me. So I still write in it to this day, and I just pick up the pen and I start writing whenever I have something, that I feel should be written down. So it's been really, really awesome. And this is my little pin. It's my frozen pin. I don't know if you guys can see it, but my co-workers at work got me this pin along with a lot of other stuff because I love Disney. I'm like so obsessed with Disney. And so this is my little pin that I'm using at the moment to write in my diary. So find some cute little pins, find a diary that you really love, something that sticks out to you or is special to you, and just write down your feelings, guys. And with lupus and with any other disease, there's always going to be ups and downs. You're going to have your good days and you're going to have your bad days, but it's so important not to build that frustration up and not to let that stress build up, especially with lupus, because it can trigger your flares. So just write it down, and I think that you'll find that it's very calming, it's very therapeutic. It's great just to get your feelings out. And if you have someone close to you that you can talk to, definitely, talk to them. Like my mom, my brother, like my family members, my friends, they have all been wonderful during my journey with lupus, and they always have great advice. They always let me cry on their shoulder. They always let me talk it out. So if you have someone like that in your life, don't be afraid to talk to them, because lupus can be a very scary thing. And even if you're dealing with another illness, it's very scary. You never know what's going to happen from day to day. So it is great just to talk to someone. And so I'm going to read a little excerpt from my diary. And this was February 2nd, 2015. So this was over a year ago. And this is like when I was first diagnosed with lupus. So I wrote, "Today was a really good day. I woke up with very little pain and am still feeling good now. I guess the medicine is working. It feels so good to have energy. I've literally been sick every day since December 2014. And I wrote this February 2nd, 2015. So that was a couple of months after, like I found out basically that I had lupus and all of my symptoms started. So I basically wrote that day that, yay, today was the first day I was able to get up and I don't have pain, because before this I was sick every single day and not feeling well. So it's really fun and really, eye-opening when I go back and I read some of these entries that I put in my diary. And it's like, wow, this time last year, this is what I was going through. Wow, look at how much I've grown. It's a great way to see how much you've grown and how, well you're doing with your disease and how strong you actually are. If you look back a year ago, and you were, battling and you were sick, but today you're able to say, yay, today was actually a good day. Those are like little small victories. So it's so good to keep a diary as well, so that you can look back and see how much you've grown with your battle and with your journey. So another thing that I kept is a lupus journal. And this journal I actually took to my doctor's office, my rheumatologist, and let him read it every single time I had an appointment with him. And so this is separate from my diary, because in my diary I actually kept, like how I was feeling, personal items, things like that, my personal feelings about, life and lupus and work and love and family and friends and everything like that. But this is more so like my medical journal. And so in this journal, like I said, lupus is a very complex disease. So you never know, from day to day how you're going to be feeling. Also, it's really good to keep a journal so that you guys can figure out sort of what causes some of your flares and what causes some of your triggers. So like in my journal, I would keep like my pain levels, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but on this day, this was February 23rd of last year, so I wrote my pain level was a 5, and I did it on a scale of like 1 to 10, so 5 being in the middle. And what I would do is I would, first of all, when I woke up in the morning, I would write down like what was hurting me. So on February 23rd, I said I have increasing chest pain on my left side. I said I am very stressed out about work. My lip was quivering during this time as well. And so those were sort of the symptoms that I was having on this day. And so then I also wrote down what I ate for breakfast, lunch, as well as dinner. So you can see here, sorry, okay, so for breakfast here, you can see that I had like oatmeal, banana, peach tea, water, and then I also wrote down my medication. So on this day I took one prednisone and one hydroxychloroquine. I can never pronounce that name. But the prednisone is basically the steroid. So like this is the steroid, and then the hydroxychloroquine is what my rheumatologist gave me to sort of help me with like my lupus flares. And then for like, I really didn't even have lunch this day. I guess I wasn't very hungry, so I just had like tortilla chips and guacamole. And then for dinner, I had a vegan pizza with avocado, mushroom, tomatoes, chili beans, onions, spinach, and I just nutritional yeast, and I basically wrote down like everything that I ate throughout the day. So what this does, guys, when you keep journals like this is you can show your rheumatologist, and my rheumatologist was really awesome about looking through my medical journal and sort of seeing if I needed to change anything like in my diet, if I needed to change anything that I was doing from day to day. Like one day when he was reading my medical journal, he saw that, you know, every time I was out in the sun for long periods of time that I would like have flares. So he said, okay, you need to start wearing sunscreen because with lupus, you can have your flares can be triggered by sun exposure, and before that I didn't know that, so now I wear sunscreen like religiously. So it's a really good way for your rheumatologist or your doctor to really give you advice and to really see what you're doing from day to day, what you're eating, what your pain levels are, so that they can properly treat you from there. And so I, later in my journal, I also started writing, you know, how much I was in the sun and if I, you know, stayed in the sun for long periods of time after my rheumatologist told me about the sun exposure, to sort of see if that would, you know, cause any flares for me. So this is excellent, guys, and it really helps you to, you can also see what causes your flares as well. So if after you eat a certain food, you notice that you don't feel well, you're going to start realizing, okay, I can't incorporate that type of food into my diet. Or after eating a certain food or, you know, taking some vitamins or something, if you feel like, oh my God, I'm feeling great, this is awesome. So you know that you have to, you know, continue to do that. So it's really, and with lupus, guys, it's so complex and it's so unpredictable. So I think it's really imperative for you to actually keep a journal. But always talk to your rheumatologist, guys, before you, you know, start changing your diet or start, you know, incorporating new vitamins or anything else. Please always talk to your doctor and make sure that it's the best plan for you and it's the best path. Because with lupus, it's definitely, you know, unpredictable, and you certainly don't want to increase the flares. The goal is to definitely decrease the flares. Yeah, so that is journaling, guys. Oh, and as you can see, I'm really old-fashioned, okay? So I keep like, you know, I like to write in my journals. But if you guys are into like apps and technology and things like that, there are some awesome apps online and or that you can get through your phone, like the Lupus Companion, or if you just like type in lupus journal or medical journal, there's some awesome apps where you can do the exact same thing that I'm doing here, maybe even more actually, but it helps you, it allows you to write down what you eat, it allows you to write down the medications that you're taking, it allows you to write down like your symptoms and how you're feeling. So apps are a really good way for all of my techie people out there. But for people like me who are really old-fashioned, just get the old-fashioned diary and the old-fashioned journal. But both of these things are extremely critical and important, you guys. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and remember, these tips and tricks are not just for people with lupus, but anyone who has any disease, or I just think whether you have a disease or not, it's awesome to keep a journal, and it definitely allows you to you know, just voice your opinions, and I think it's really therapeutic. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a great day.